Hello parents, and thank you for offering to volunteer at the Whittier LRC. I'd like to take a few minutes to show you where we shelve things in special places in the LRC. First, I'd like to point out the graphic novels. We have one full 3-shelf unit across from the circulation desk with the graphic novels, as well as a display of some of the more popular series in front of the circulation desk, such as Squish and The Lunch Lady and Baby Mouse, and series that have many different volumes to them. Also on the shelves across from the circulation desk are 3 separate displays for the Illinois Reader's Choice Award nominees. There are the Monarch books for kindergartners, 1st and 2nd graders, the Blue STEM nominees for 3rd through 5th graders, and the Rebecca Caudle nominees for 4th through 8th graders. When you receive a book on the shelf to shelve, you will have to look at the spine to see if it has a special sticker indicating that it's one of the Reader's Choice Award nominees. In the south aisle of the library, facing the hallway, is our magazine rack. The most recent issues of magazines are on display facing out, and older issues of the magazines are stored in these crates. And so anything older than 2 or 3 months old will probably be found in a crate. The rest can be shown facing out on display. On the back wall, or the western wall of the LRC, starts our fiction section. These are chapter books, mostly what you would think of for the intermediate grades. Fiction is shelved alphabetical by the author's last name. And series of books are also in there as if the name of the series is the author's last name. So, for example, those American Girl books are under AME, and then the Dear America series is shelved under DEA, and there are guide signs at the top of each shelf as to which authors you would find in each section. Some of our nonfiction books are also shelved in special sections. Our biographies are not in numerical order, but are pulled out into their own special section, as well as our books about the presidents. And we also have a special collection of state books that many children use for reports. So as you're shelving, just try to be mindful of if they are books that may be shelved in special sections. Now we'll move over to the E section, E for everybody. This is generally the section that our primary students would use. However, there are also some chapter books that would interest some 3rd and 4th graders, as well as some higher level picture books. Up on top of one of our displays here are all of the pop-up books that we have, followed by tiny books. So if the book seems extraordinarily small, it would go in that section rather than on the shelf by author's last name. And then you see we have a guide here to our beginning chapter books. We have blue dot books, orange dot books, and green dot books. The blue dot being the easiest of the 3, the green dot being the harder. And each of those is shelved in their own special section. The blue dot shelves are facing out toward the story steps. And this is generally the section of books that kindergartners and 1st graders are able to read on their own with many sight words that they know. As you can see, the bins there show that we're trying to keep them together by author's last name, but not necessarily all in order, just clumped together by first letter of author's last name. And then we will have a crate of popular blue dot books such as Mo Willems. On the back side of the blue dot books, our orange dot collection, you'll see that there's a section there to the left that are alphabetical by the author's last name. And then we also have crates of series of orange dot books that are shelved by series, either by popularity of character or by the name of the series itself. The green dot books start on the western wall of the library next to the fiction section and wrap around on the window side. And again, the individual books are by author's last name, and then there are also crates of popular characters and series books. Then, of course, we have our picture book section. which are on the shelves facing the windows, and those are alphabetical by author's last name. And as you can see on the bottom, there are some blue crates. That's where we are putting the paperbacks because many of them are too thin to be easily seen by the students on the shelves. And there are some of those pink markers in there guiding you to certain famous authors' last names. Going back to the nonfiction section, a little note about the Dewey Decimal System. When we're shelving by Dewey number, it is important to put them in numerical order before you pay attention to alphabetical order. So as you can see here, these books all start with 000.94, but then there is a book 0.942, which numerically comes after just a 0.94, and then 0.944. And then they are alphabetical within. If the Dewey numbers are the same, then you start putting them alphabetical by the author's last name. There may also be other special displays going on in the library at any given season. There's a picture of our Halloween display, so we pulled all spooky books or books about witches and vampires and ghosts or about the holiday of Halloween. So any given season, there may be a special display of seasonal books, and we don't have those marked specially. So that's the kind of thing where, you know, if it's November and you find a Thanksgiving book to shelve, it may go in the special seasonal section. We'll also have a special section for all of the books that are books this year in this year's reading games. The PTA has generously purchased for us 3 copies of each book, so we will have those in a separate section. And some other things that you may want to be aware of in the LRC are our displays. There may be contests going on with certain questions for the students to answer, and there will be blank answer sheets available on the magazine rack. There are also displays that have QR codes for students to scan a tutorial, for example, on the app of the month and how they might use that on their iPads. Or there is the book reviews. These are different kid-friendly sites of book reviews written by kids for kids. And these are something you could point the students to if they're in the library for checkout time and are looking for another way to fill their time besides reading. When you're shelving, you may want to make use of this very small black cart because it is small, it is easy to maneuver in and out of the tight spaces in the shelves and the stacks. Right now, a crash course in our Destiny catalog. If students come in asking if we have a certain book, this is the screen that you would use. It's on the catalog tab. And so if I did a search for James and the Giant Peach, this is what would come up, my results. And notice that the results would tell you if there are any local copies, as well as the call number of where you can find the book on the shelves. Another tab that will be important for you to know how to use is the circulation tab. Notice that at the top, its circulation is checked. On the left-hand side, check out. This is the screen we need to be in when checking out books to a student. That will also tell you what books the student already has checked out. And then when you scan books back in, you have to be in check-in mode, and it will show you the list of the books most recently checked in. This is our book scanner. The little red light showing has to be lined up with the barcode on the back of the book. Please make sure that you're using the Whittier LRC barcode and not the UPC symbol that the stores use to purchase books, because sometimes there is more than one barcode on the back. And it has to be lined up exactly with that little red light there. There is a white binder that we have on the countertop at the circulation desk at all times that our wonderful aide, Mrs. Kluge, has put together for us. That has notes for the LRC, tips on how to use the Destiny catalog and circulation system. It also has the daily schedule on it of who's to be there. And there's other things in there, such as this list of technology checkout for staff. If a student says that they have a book on hold, in back of the circulation desk is this little crate that we hold our book hold requests, and it would have the student's name and their homeroom teacher as well as the date that they put it on hold. So if a student asks you, you can check there. And then finally, in the tall shelves behind the circulation desk, we have our little book hospital. If any books come in that are severely damaged or look like they need repair, that's where we would house them. Thank you once again for volunteering to come and help us in the LRC. We look forward to meeting you and working with you. And I know this was just a little crash course in how our LRC works. Of course, you can feel free to ask questions of me or Mrs. Kluge at any time. Thanks again.